Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Harsh Reality with your host, Harshmed. So today is going to be a more enjoyable episode, more enjoyable show. So let me try to fix this up once more. There you go. Put that up. I'm all tied up. Yeah, so that was an interesting week. It's been an interesting week so far, whether it's through Facebook or the current events or some of the other political circus. Just get up a bit. So that's what it is. That's the one thing I don't even understand right now. It's just this whole the whole thing is crazy. I mean, even with my own self. Like, I opened up an alt account to try to share, and everyone just assumed I got hacked. Yeah, I get why everyone assumed that, but it was just a bit, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you have to take precautions, I get that, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. So that's where we're at. That's what we're up to. Now, let me bring Larry Liston on so we can talk a few things, whether it's the series, the divisional series, or Flint, or I don't know. One last time we'll talk about the circus. One last time. One last time. If Larry brings it up, we'll talk. Otherwise, no. And, Elon Musk and Flint. A lot of great, or the fact NATO just put 45,000 troops there by the border. So, yeah, we're going to have a great show for sure. We really are. That's going to be a fun show for sure. Sure, let me bring him on. Enough chit-chat. Let me bring him on the show. There he is.
What's going on?
Nothing much, everyone. It's Maine's finest, Anon, and harsh reality personality, Larry Liston, everybody. That's a full house.
Yeah, my girls are home. My youngest just banged her head.
Oh,
She's a
jeez.
little upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I'm sure it felt like banging your head last night after that game. During that game.
Oh, horrible. Horrible game.
Yeah.
Horrible game.
It's horrible for some. Not for others.
Yeah, no, I hear you there, but come on, Price. Really?
Yeah, well, he never does anything in the postseason. So anyhow, I think I came up with the final terms of the bet. If the Yankees win two more games, then if the Red Sox somehow win two more games, then I will spray paint the Red Sox logo on the back of my hair because people have been wanting me to spray paint my hair red again, so I might just do that. And if the Red Sox win the World Series, then I'll put the B in the back of my head. I'll shave it in there.
All
right. So then, what are you gonna do what do you think about the if the Yankees? So then, what's your proposition if the Yanks hold serve at home?
I'll do the same. I'll dye my hair with the Yankees logo in it.
Oh, geez.
And then if they lose, if they win the series, then I'll shave my head and have the symbol in the back of my head.
Oh, geez. Well, all right. Well, you heard it here. It's official. We may have to do some for Bears and Patriots as well, though I don't know how confident I feel about that right now.
Oh, you don't want to bet nothing with the Patriots. I would highly advise against that.
Yeah, well, I might have to include a point spread for
We're
that.
on another Super Bowl run. Everybody counted us out after the first 3 games. So I mean, give us another ring right now. We're just gonna.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's at some point though the fun does end.
Nah, the fun is definitely gonna end. I mean, shoot, every year for the last 6-7 years we've been talking about when is the fun gonna end. So we all know it's gonna come to an end. But man, I love it. I love it. I love the Patriots. It's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well,
In paradise. See that? We used to call that Revis Island, but we don't no more. That's just paradise. That's where we've been ever
no,
since I started watching the Patriots.
jeez. Oh well, the Patriots are what the Bears used to be. They'd win so often it wasn't even funny. So,
Well, they've outdone any other dynasty that we could think of. The only thing that comes to mind when you think about this kind of stuff is John Wooden, the stuff he did with UCLA, or Gino, what he's doing with University of Connecticut.
well, maybe, but I was talking more NFL. You still have the Bears and Packers who had their own runs back in the until before
Well,
the
that
70s.
rivalry is its own special thing, no doubt. But the sustainability, I mean, we're going on 20 years where
Right.
we don't have a losing season. That's uncomparable to any professional sport anywhere. Maybe the Spurs. Like I don't think it comes. The Red Wings Stanley Cup run. You know what I mean? Like this very not Stanley Cup, a playoff run. They've made the playoffs almost every year I've been alive.
Yeah,
You know what I
25
mean?
years.
So, right. There's very few. There's very
Well,
few that meet that mark.
I remember when the Hawks made the playoffs 29 almost 30 straight years. The only problem was they never won a cup during that time period. So that was a bit strange. Whatever.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
You gotta get those rings.
Yep. And thankfully we've gotten 3 in the last decade. One even against your favorite team.
I think out of all the teams, the Bruins are probably the one I watched the least.
Yeah, well,
I'd only watch them in the Stanley Cup Finals.
well, that's probably because they're losing the most out of all the teams. Anyhow, speaking of anomalies and outliers, and people changing and things changing so much in 17 seconds. What do you think about Elon Musk and his flip-flopping about Flint?
I think it's hard for him to do a lot right now with his big money. Yeah, he's gonna have to dump a lot of money into this FCC shit with the Joe Rogan podcast and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, he's the only guy I really see committing from the private sector to do anything for it.
Right.
Everybody else is a politician trying to get a vote, saying that they're gonna do something about it.
Right.
Or it's somebody like us, somebody helping out because they you know what I mean. There's nobody helping out there, so
Right. Yes. Right. Right, because from what I've noticed with him, first he says he's going to fix the infrastructure. Then he says he's going to replace all the filters. Then he says he's going to fix the infrastructure again. I don't have no idea what he's going to do. I have none. I mean, it's nice that he's thinking about Flint, but I mean,
No, right, and I mean that's the thing is to replace the infrastructure, you're literally talking about the whole city.
Yeah.
To put in a water filtration system for the schools is probably more feasible in the immediate effect. But I mean, who's gonna take that underpinning without him being just a financier? I mean, I don't see him as a construction mogul. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what resources he has to do that specifically. But if he's just throwing money around, then it's time. What direct impact is he gonna have? And I
Right.
think that's what kind of guy he really is. What can I affect right now? So for right now, the biggest thing he can affect is the school filtration systems.
Right.
If he can get the schools clean water, then he affects the kids, which is a direct positive thing.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a sad it's kind of sad when the schools have cleaner water than the homes. But,
No, absolutely.
then again, they spend like they're the most alert during there, so I don't.
Nah, and you spend a good chunk of your day there, a good chunk of the year there. So I
Right.
mean, you spend a majority of time in school. Hey, you need to have clean water wherever the kids are.
You really do.
I wish it could be always in the home, and it should be always in the home, but it's it's a sad situation they got in Flint. There's no excuses for it.
Right. When we were in Flint, it was such a surreal situation. Because yes, it is tragic that everything happened. So it's horrible. It angers me, that fat ugly cunt Melissa Mays has pretended to be an activist, has benefited so much money from it. We're gonna post her address in the comments below. You know, Karen Weaver, she's profited from it. The Flint City Council, the concerned pastors, we'll dump all the information in the comments later about how the horrible people that have profited, even the state, this governor, all them. But at the same time, you know, though, it's crazy seeing all these people come together. You know,
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, what else can you do other than unite on an issue like this? It's not something that you should be divided over, man. These
you
people
can't.
need clean water. These people need the necessities to live. It's a necessity of life. They need that. So I mean, it's great to see everybody really come together and do something.
There really is. And to answer Paula says, "Why a lot of kids eat at school and don't eat at home?" No, I think it's great that they're having it at school. I just think, I just wish they could have it at home too, because you know, yeah, you spend the prime of your day at school if you're a kid, but you spend more of it at home usually.
Right. Right. No, no
That's
doubt, man. And you need it everywhere, not just in certain places. You need clean water
right.
everywhere.
You know, I mean, no, we're not even gonna think about that. So, yeah, we're not gonna get to that part. So that's the thing about it. That's the important part about flight. Like I don't know. I just wish they could get to the point where they can all take a shower every day without worrying about being poisoned or just assuming they're gonna get poisoned. Yeah.
For real. Not boil their water in pots, wondering how much lead is now contaminated their pot.
Yeah. Because I remember when we went there, they were under a freaking boil advisory. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. If you boil a pot and the lead is in the water, it clings to the pot, and now you've got a lead pot that's going to continue to leak lead every time you try to
Mhm.
boil something in it, whether it's noodles or whatever. The lead's there.
And that's expensive to get new pots and pans. That adds up very quickly.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to do it every time you boil something.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big nuisance. So in that aspect, I mean, it was so bad when we went there. They were under a boil advisory. Like if I was in Mundy County, I don't think I would have washed my hands at all. I would just would have used sanitizer the whole time.
Yeah, no, it was rough, man. We were in and out. We didn't stay there too long, but we showed up, no shower, did the water thing, and then left. You know what I mean? Took a shower when we got home. We got home late that next night.
Mhm. Really
But
did. You guys spent 5 times as many hours driving as you did volunteering. That's
yeah, but it was worth it. It was
boy.
so worth it.
Seeing everyone like trying to like fix that guy's car, seeing Rick trying to fix that guy's car was pretty cool too.
Amazing. Rick's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Just interacting with him throughout the time that I've been home interacting with him. He's an amazing dude. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything out of Rick other than to help some random guy who's stranded. So
But yeah, that was what it is. I mean, he was like, it was so inspirational. I went into my car, I got a jack out, the jack just to help Rick try to fix the car. I mean, I saw it. It was like,
nah,
oh boy, I don't know if he can fix it, but He gave it his all.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about cars, but I stood there like I'll help any way I can. And
Right.
then I realized I was useless, so
Yeah.
I went and kept dropping off water. But
Yeah.
Chad was there giving inspiration, and Chad's a bit of a mechanic too. He knows how to fix shit. So he was another mind when a problem came up. It was a good team effort of everybody trying to help him out while we were delivering water. So it was just a crazy day of people helping out people.
Right. That's really what it was, you know. And I think a lot of people underestimate like how people can come together in like the worst times, you know.
Nah, yeah, and the other thing with that is it's unfortunate that it takes the worst times for people to get together, for people to care about one another. I mean, we should be trying to better our community a little bit every day in any way that we can. Chris
Yeah.
Lewis, huge inspiration, started that little group where he got money donated and then paid homeless people to get active in cleaning up the street, and it gave them money and it cleaned up the street, cleaned up the community. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
amazing stuff right there. So
Yeah, he's an
just
amazing
anything,
individual.
yeah, just anything in any way, man, and get out there and do it. That's what we need. We need everybody to participate.
Absolutely.
No awards though. You just do shit.
Right. Yeah. No one needs the awards, you know. The you know,
Nah, it's not. It's not what it's about.
no. The recognition's kind of weird. It's like, oh my God, you're in Flint. You did all. I was like, yeah, I felt it. I felt as fulfilled as they did when I gave them water. You know, like I felt better giving
Nah,
them the water than they probably did receiving the water.
nah, for real. It was a great thing, fulfilling thing to hear the lady say thank you. Oh, this is so great. God bless you. You know what I mean? Like those things are great to hear, but at the same time, as soon as you're done doing that in Flint, it's not like look what I did. It's how do we do more?
Right.
You know what I mean? The intention is never getting recognized. The intention is to help these people. So the recognition is great, but again, that's why we got the mask. The mask is not for looks. It's so that we represent a bigger thing than us. It's not what I stand for.
Well,
It's for what we all stand for and what we all can be.
yeah, you're right about that. You know, because it's not about me. It's a we. You know,
Right.
there's no
Right.
I in team. That's the old
Yeah.
adage.
That's probably the best one that everybody knows.
Right. Yes, there is a me, but you know what? There's no me in Jesus. There's no I in teamwork, okay?
And there's no me either. It's you gotta jumble the words up to get me. So there is no me either.
Right.
It's just it's us. You gotta a team is a network of people. You gotta rely on your network. You gotta trust your people, and you gotta work together.
Right.
You busy on that producer end of things, huh?
Oh yeah, I am. But yeah, I can't wait. I think we just need to do more, especially for Flint, because the sad part is there's 3,000 cities and towns and cities in America with higher lead levels than Flint. So I'm not even sure what to
Right.
so I'm not even sure like what to do about it outside of actual anarchy. Because it's not like I'm not talking about violence and the pitchforks and the machine guns and all that. I'm just talking about people coming together without the federal government. But you know, but it's like
Nah, we need to.
when does that cut? When does that happen? Whether it's Flint or any of these damn places, you know.
I don't know.
Right. I mean, I mean, does does that happen the next decade, the decade after? Like, I don't know anymore. I really don't.
Nah, I don't know. It's getting crazy, man. People are putting their politics to their identity. Nobody wants to look at what's
Yeah.
really going on anymore. I
I,
mean, this shit's
Yeah, I saw some of that this morning between you and Justin. I was like almost laughing.
Well,
Yeah,
Justin's a cool dude. Listen, don't
he
get me wrong.
is.
Justin's a great dude. The only thing with Justin is he likes to promote the party politics. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And I
Well, now
I get it.
harsh. How can you sit there and say Republicans are as bad as Democrats are as bad as Republicans? Justin, you supported Bernie. You should know that. Hey, Harsh, you can't say that. That's bad, Harsh. That's not true. Nope, nope, not true. I'm not ever going to agree with you, Larry. Not true.
Nah, right. And
Hey,
I listen. You want to throw Bernie at me? That's fine. But don't be mad at a Republican because Bernie didn't get in there when his own party is the one that made sure he didn't
exactly.
get the nomination.
Right.
It's
Yeah, Justin and I would
it's
have
a lot of
many.
misinformation, a lot of people getting passionate about the wrong things, and people throwing their identity into what it is. People saying, "Nah, he's a racist. I'm not a racist, so I'm not what he is." You don't even know. You didn't even do any research. You just assume. You just assume, and then you make an ass out of everybody that you associate with. And I'm not speaking about Justin individually because
But
we
I was
we
about to say,
I mean we went back and forth all morning. We talked about the one thing, the Democrat Republican thing is probably the biggest thing we talked about. But we went back and forth with another guy with Martin Luther King, and me and Justin were on the same side.
yeah,
Some
it's
guy was calling Martin Luther King a radical. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it
he
just
was the complete antithesis of a radical. You know,
oh, it's crazy.
if anything, it wasn't radical enough. If some want to make that argument, personally, I don't really know
Well,
because
you could
yeah,
no, the post was something about violence, and you know what I mean. Martin Luther King said it best, man. Darkness does not defeat darkness. Light does that.
right.
Hate cannot defeat hate. Love does that. So you gotta come from a perspective of love, and you gotta be persistent with your love. You gotta be aggressive with your love. You can't let somebody shit on you and be like, oh, he's a bad guy, and turn your back on somebody. You gotta be consistent, and we gotta unite and work together. So I mean. It is what it is, but at the same time,
Yeah,
Martin Luther King was far from radical. The shit that he was preaching about, that they call him radical for, was his saying, if the federal government's giving away land, then I want some of my land too. You know what I mean? I'm a,
exactly.
I'm a legal citizen. All us blacks are free men. And it was right after the Civil War. They were giving away land out west. You know what I mean? And say what you want about reparations, man. A direct descendant of a slave could make an argument for it. A, a direct descendant of a slave owner could make an argument against it because he'd have to be the guy paying the reparations. So I mean, you can make an argument for it, but it doesn't make it radical to say it. It's
No,
rational.
it really
It's a
doesn't.
rational thing, man. These people got cheated out of land that was supposed to be promised to them. We stole a bunch of land from the Indians and gave them reserves. So I mean,
Yeah,
there is a precedence for giving land to people who deserved it that didn't get it in the first place.
you're right about that.
Where do you draw the line? Where do you know what I mean? I'm definitely not that guy, but there's an argument for it, man. There's definitely an argument for it, as well as an argument against it. None of us own slaves. None of us were slaves. Why do we have to pay for somebody in the past? So I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is. We've come a long way. We still got a long way to go.
Oh yeah,
Long way to go.
that's so true. As our guy Country Joe Logan says, J Cobb said it pretty good when he was on with Gerard. It's like looking at a watch. It's simple, looks simple outside, but when you get inside, there's multiple working parts. Yeah, that's true, and that's why I have to always iron out the details. However, I think if enough egos were checked at the door, you could get anything done. The problem is, as Jay also says, it's human error. It's always, people being people. But then at that point, if that's a detriment, then you shouldn't bother with anything. So it's
Now we all just gotta work on being better people. Take it as it goes. We've come a long way, man. We've as a human race, we've come a long way from clumping people over the head in caves. You know what I mean? We've come a long way. Still got a long way to go, but look how far we've come.
oh yes, I agree. That's so true. That is. And back to Justin. I remember when him and I used to do shows every Wednesday. We'd always get debates about the Dems all the time. So it was fun. I might bring back that show again. I'm not sure though, but he's got to be available to do the show. Otherwise.
No, and he's a great guy. We did a show together. Last time we broke down the circus. The first time with the Stork Congress debacle. You
Oh,
know what I
you and
mean?
Justin
So
did that. Oh, that's cool.
yeah, Justin came on. We do it. That was an early morning one, and he was free, and he came on, and we talked a lot. You know what I mean? We
What?
talked for a while about a really good spectrum of things. So I like Justin. That's where I first got to meet him. So I've actually had a lengthy conversation with him. It's not just Facebook interaction, but even our Facebook interaction isn't bad, man. We agree on some things,
Yeah,
most things. We disagree on some things like political party dependency, and we're civil about it. It's great.
yes.
He's never been mean to me. I've never
Right,
been,
right. I know.
mean
He's
to him.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's
He's
good.
he's a great
We can
guy.
agree and be civil,
He's a great.
disagree and be civil.
Oh, absolutely. But
What do you
yeah,
think about the Connor fight last night?
which one? The Connor? Wow. I have no idea how the hell that even transpired. I mean, I get that there was bad blood, but at that level,
Oh man, you got Khabib, who's old school Russian. Like there's no doubt about it. He's connected with some of the most old school Russian oligarchs there are. You know what I mean? So he's old school Russian, and then you got old school Irish. And
right?
they don't like each other from way Bonner calling Khabib's people terrorists. You know what I mean? Starting a whole mess of shitstorm of publicity for Khabib.
But it's so
And then you got a
strange.
really great fight.
It was. It was a great fight that ended
That
pretty
was a
quickly
really great fight.
for Mayweather. I mean, for McGregor though. But it's so weird watching that. Like the guy wins. The guy gets McGregor to submit, and instead of celebrating, he's like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna go after your coach."
Yeah, no,
My
it
God.
was nuts, man. And then to have your team jump in the cage and tag team fucking McGregor, that was a nutty situation. They're screwed. Like they held their purse. You're gonna lose your fight money, and then on top of that, you're gonna lose your belt for Khabib. You might not be able to get back into the country to do another American UFC. So any UFC you do is gonna have to be outside the country. It just could be a crazy mess of bullshit when dude put on an amazing performance. The way that he smothered McGregor,
Yeah.
the way that he stood up toe to toe and traded shots lefts and rights, like he really Khabib showed why he is undisputed, undefeated, nasty. He's just another animal. And then to stand up and exchange and then be able to smother him on the ground, tire him out, and then choke the shit out of him at the end. Like you should have just took your money and shut him up. Cause what is he gonna do next time? There's no way Connor's gonna be able to outmuscle you and keep the weight.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's a fine balance, and Khabib is a beast at that weight. It's fucking crazy, fucking crazy.
Right.
I hope there's a second, maybe even a third, depending on how the second fight goes. But I was
After that,
talking, yeah, no, I was talking with my older brother earlier, and he pointed out he's like, they're gonna finish this outside the ring, and I was like, yeah, it's a really good point. It's very well could
it's gonna be
get
finished
finished
outside the
outside the
ring.
ring.
I mean, he didn't even bother to receive his belt, and he went after him the way he did. I'm like, oh man.
Nah, Dana wouldn't let him. Nah, Dana wouldn't let him. Dana stopped all of that shit because by the time they got him out of the ring area and into the tunnel, they were already throwing whatever they had in their hands at Khabib.
Yeah, that was on him though. I mean, you gotta win
Nah,
with.
right. You got to get out of there, man. You got to take your win. You got to be proud. Listen, that was a
Right,
great fight. You would have got mad respect. You got to take your win. You got to take your belt. You got to get out of there clean. You can't be acting a fool on some
right.
dumb
That
shit.
was
Connor's the one
some.
who smashed the bus window.
Right.
You let him be the idiot. You now you just load yourself to that act of fucking retard.
Yeah. Plus, no one's even gonna remember the fight anymore. I mean, they're gonna remember it, but it's
Nah,
like,
it was a good fight, but it definitely got outshadowed by the brawl at the
right.
end. I
Like I
mean,
always thought kicking the crap out of someone in the octagon and taunting him with the belt was more than enough. But maybe I'm old school apparently.
nah, hey, dude, what was his name? Lewis, the heavyweight or whatever. He had a great press conference. He beat the shit out of the Russian dude in the final minute, knocked him out. Great knockout. And then his press conference was like, "Hey, why'd you take your pants off? Cause my balls was sweaty." Oh, Joe's like, "Oh, I agree with you there." And then he's like, "Donald Trump called me and told me to knock out the Russian motherfucker because they've been messing with him, him and the Putin shit. So America's in the house." I mean, there were so many great moments last night that get outshadowed because of the melee. I mean, it's unfortunate. Who remembers Ron Artest? If you remember Ron Artest, you know him for one or two reasons. A, he changed his name to Metal World Peace, and you think he's an absolute lunatic nutbag. Or two, you remember him for the Malice in the Palace. You remember him for punching the fan in the face.
well,
That's all you remember
well, if
Ron
you're a
Artest for.
Lakers fan, you remember him like helping you win a title. And if you're a Bulls fan, you remember him in his first few years applying to work at Circuit City. While he was playing, he was applying at Circuit City, and he lists his references as Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf. And I'm just like,
Too funny.
but he was a
But that's
great
the thing.
player. Still
In
pisses me off
LA,
about that trade for Jalen Rose. Why you had to trade
yeah,
him
no, hey,
and Brad Miller for Jalen Rose and some bums? I don't get it. It just you had to
they
do
make
that
bad
trade.
deals all
Why?
the time.
Yeah,
They make bad deals all the time. It is what it
they
is.
all do.
It was a horrible deal, but at the same rate, you got I lost what I was gonna say. I don't even remember now.
I don't know. You'll probably figure it out in the next few minutes. All I all I know is that the next time I do a show with what do you call it? The next time I do a show with with Kira, I have to dye my hair red. So one or
That's
the
too
other.
funny. That's too funny. You got to get the B in the bag if you listen. I'm so confident. I don't make stupid bets like this unless I'm confident. I'm so confident New York is gonna lose. Like
Well,
last night was the only win they get because we put Price on the mound thinking he was gonna show up. We're never gonna put him on the mound in the postseason again.
if he comes in
He's
relief in
right.
Game 4, because that's the thing.
Reliever, that's it.
But the thing is, if they lose tomorrow and Chris Sale has to start Game 4, guess who probably is starting Game 5
Porcello.
in
And
Game
then we'll have
5?
Chris Sale.
No, Porcello's
Yeah, and then
starting
we'll
Game
have Chris
3.
Sale do game 6, and then Porcello in game 7.
In a 5-game series, they're gonna have him start Game 6 and 7. Yeah,
Listen, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We can't have Price on the mound ever again in the postseason.
yeah. He's getting paid. He's got another 4 years. Good news for you. He's got another 4 years and another $127 million to pay off. So, oh, jeez.
Just spend that money way better somewhere else.
Well, you can't get rid of him, so he's not dumb enough to opt out. I know that. I mean, the only way a guy.
No, he's horrible and he's getting a ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
If he opted out, he'd literally be the dumbest guy on the face of the
No, he
planet.
really would. I mean, the only team I could see possibly giving him more money is the Washington Nationals, just to say fuck you to Bryce Harper. But other than that, I really can't see it.
Oh man, we need to get rid of him. Somebody take that contract off our hands, please.
It'd be a fun trade. I think the Yanks and Red Sox should trade with each other. Jacoby Ellsbury for David Price. That's what I think should
Wow,
happen.
we don't want Jacoby back. He
Yeah, but you
freely
save like
signed with the
60 million.
Sox.
You save like
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We'll eat it. We don't take traders.
Well, I
Give us
mean,
somebody else. Give us anybody who's never been on the Red Sox.
well, you can
You don't
move
get to
them. Yeah, but
freely.
then
You
you
don't
can
get
at
to
least
freely
move
go
them.
to the British and then come back and call yourself an American. Okay.
Well,
The Yankees
that's kind of
are
what
the other
Thomas
side.
Jefferson did, but that's not the point. That's kind of, I'm just kidding. Well,
This
he
is a
didn't
day
call
and
himself
age
a
where you
Brit,
get
but he
held
wasn't there during the
accountable.
war. But the point is, 2 years. I mean, you can at least move him somewhere else. This is what I hate about the White Sox.
Yeah, you move them to the trash can.
Well, this is what I hate about the White Sox. They have all this money. They're not gonna sign a big player. At least be like, look, we're gonna take on your shitty contract plus like three of your best prospects. Done. 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 Like if the Red Sox were like, we're gonna give you our top three prospects, Jackie Bradley Jr. and David Price for fucking payroll relief.
See, where you get Jackie from? We ain't gotta get rid of Jackie.
If we're taking
You
on
throw
that contract,
Jackie in
yes, we
there to
do.
spice it
If
up
we're
for the other guys.
No, if we're taking on that contract, yes, we do. I that's where we're starting at, Larry. You can
No,
negotiate it
we ain't
down.
getting rid of Jackie. We're keeping Jackie. You trying to get a good young talent
Hey,
out of us
we're taking
because
on
of David Price.
4 years and 100 and something million, 120 something million. Oh,
Take it. Take it. You ain't taking Bradley.
we're taking at least your top prospects. Fuck that. That
Yo, prospects
albatross
are
of a.
fine because we can find prospects next year and we can dominate this year. We're gonna get another ring.
I don't see that. I really don't see it. I really don't see it. I mean, it could happen. It could happen, but I don't see it.
Yo, we're good. We're run producing.
All right.
We can manufacture runs.
If,
We're dude.
all right. If we're all right, one last thing. If we're taking on Boston's top 10 prospects, we're taking on all of these. We're taking on all of these people. All of them. We're taking at least like all of them. That whole list. We're taking them on.
That's fine. I haven't seen any of them do anything in a Red Sox uniform, so
All
it
right.
won't hurt my heart.
Okay. You're right.
That's a good list though.
Yeah. No, not only that, we're also gonna take on
See, you keep adding.
yeah,
When do I say no?
uh,
Jackie Bradley Jr., top 10 prospects. No,
hey,
you take
I'm
the 100 million.
taking on 3 years at 100. We're taking on like 4 years at 130 million. That's what we're taking on. All right. Anyhow, let's go back to the video.
You get nothing in return.
Not for that contract. Oh, we're taking your
Take
fucking
it.
top prospects. Fuck all that. And then we can trade David Price for some actual prospects since we can eat up some of the money. Hey! And then we're good.
He's so horrible. So horrible. Nobody would trade him for a second time.
Why not?
You only find one sucker. Because you only find one sucker.
I mean, if at half the price with like 15 top prospects in baseball, why not?
Listen, if you got a second sucker out there, I'll sell him to him first because he's obviously gonna pay a better price.
How much money would you be willing to eat just to get rid of David Price? That's
Honestly, man, I wouldn't be willing to eat more than 15, 20 million. I mean,
per year.
it'd have to be a pretty reasonable deal, and it's just not out there. Realistically, there's no way we're ever gonna get rid of him. He's gonna eat up all of that money, except for whatever money we put into achievements. You know what I mean? He might not get the achievement money, but
Right.
he's gonna get all that contract money.
I think at this point, Chris Davis for David Price might actually be a decent trade. Yes, I am. I am making you trade with your division.
No. Nah, Chris Davis is good though. I like Chris.
Yeah, he can't hit like half of his weight, but I'm sure he's good.
Yeah, you know.
All right, what was his average? Oh, he batted 168.
Damn.
right, let's see what he got. He batted Mr. 168. Okay, for 23 million a year, that's what you get.
God damn.
Yeah.
168?
Yeah,
That is not an ERA.
I know. God, you know what? Let me do something more productive. Let me look up. Let me look up one of the people who's stolen money from Flint, from the Flint Relief Fund. Yeah, at least that'll be more productive than talking sports. Paul, hold on. You're gonna see this. You're gonna enjoy this one.
That's a touch. We could get in trouble.
I'm not gonna
Sports
cross
and
politics with
politics.
sports. What I'm gonna do is, I might just dox a few people. That's about it.
Oh well, we're always down for that.
You know, Paula, stay. You're gonna see me You're gonna see me post people addresses of people who have taken advantage of Flint.
Yo, so what was that big mix-up the other day that I got a thing? What was it? Billy Taylor was all mad at you and Jen and a bunch of other people.
I don't know. He's always doing I don't know anymore. One day he's pissed, the next day he's like, "I love you." I don't fuck if I know. I don't know. If he's yelling at people like Jen and Tom, I just think I think with Billy it's just the whole, you know, it's just a roller coaster with him. I don't even like, no. I mean, I can't say anything bad about him. The guy's helped me out a lot when it comes to these shows, but it's like, man, you got come on.
Nah, I seen him. He's looking rough. He's looking like he's stressed out.
Yeah, he is. You know, yeah. Let's talk about. I'm trying to find out where Karen Weaver lives. I was able to find out where Rahm Emanuel lived. I mean, I could post Melissa Mays' address again. That's not a big deal.
What's up with your boy Ed Higgins?
Oh, that fat, ugly rapist. Anyway, for more information, you can go to 31. You can send your postcard. You can send a postcard to 31 Oakwood Avenue, Billerica, Massachusetts. Billerica, not Billerica. It's Billerica. Billerica. That's what they've told me up there. So now I'm going to post his address, and his phone number is 978-670-2324. That's 978-670-2324. Once again, that's 978-670-2324. But meanwhile, this is one of the people who has taken advantage of the Flint water crisis. Hold on. There you go. Melissa Sue Johnson, aka Melissa Mays. Previous residence, Flint, Michigan. Let's see what she knows. No. All right, Melissa Sue Mays, aka Melissa Mays. So let's just point that out there.
Take it away. Make
Do I put that address up again? I put that address up again. Okay. Oh, well.
No.
Oh, Melissa, there you go. Got it. Also goes by. Guess where it also goes by? Guess who it also goes by? Oh. Oh, look. Melissa Sue Mays, 34 years old, Flushing, Michigan. Oh, guess. Okay, that's what we got. And this is her address as far as I know. That's her phone number.
What was the date last Monday?
It was October 1st.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Yeah, we went to the Patriots Sunday.
anyhow, Melissa Sue Johnson, Melissa Sue Mays, aka Melissa Sue Johnson. So many names. Her phone number is at 810-867-4424. That's 810-867-4424.
Right.
Current address is 410 Windmill Point Drive, Flushing, Michigan, 48433-2157. No. So, see? This is activism in its own dirty way. Now let me look up one Karen Weaver. That would be nice. Let's look up Karen Weaver from Michigan. Let's see what we get. Karen Weaver, Mayor, City of Flint. She's been mayor since 2015. All right, that's the basics. That's the basics.
Yeah, we have.
And how old does she say she is? All right, she graduated high school in 1977, so she's probably in her 60s. All right, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Or maybe 50s, I'm not sure.
Found this one.
Ah, Karen Weaver. Let's have some fun,
Well,
shall
it's
we?
not letting me blank.
Actually, I'm not going to post this because I don't know if that's the right address. So, but, yeah.
I'm freaking confused on this.
On which one? What's the question?
I don't know. She's filling out something online. My wife, she's using the computer.
Oh, okay. All right. I have no idea if her address is 13 Woodlawn Park Drive, Flint, Michigan. So I'm going to see if that is or not. Then I'm going to figure that out. With Melissa Mays, I at least know who that is. I at least know her address. So. Alana M. Weaver, Karen Weaver, Adrian M. Weaver. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, apparently this is the address. Huh. Let's see. She says she has 3 kids. Karen Williams Weaver. All right. There we go. There you go. For all you Flint residents out there, that's her phone. That's her address. And you guys can do whatever you want with it, but don't pin any. All right, so enough of that. This has been another edition of the Harsh Reality. We thank Larry for joining us. Larry Listen for joining us. This has been Harsh Man of the Harsh Reality, reminding all of you that the golden rule is in fact a two-way street. Tune in really late tonight or early tomorrow morning to see another episode of, to see a classic return, The Furious Harsh Reality. Take care, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day.